In the very beginning, before we left the hospital with the NG tube, one of the things I wasn't certain of was how difficult it might be to leave the house with Raya attached to her feeding pump. Or if it would even be possible, given that the pumps at the hospital were large, clamped to IV poles, and didn't seem to hold much of a battery charge when they were unplugged from the outlets. When the rep from our home health supplier dropped off the feeding pump we'd be taking home, I realized that we would probably have some mobility after all. The pump was smaller than the hospital pump, and he brought a backpack along with it. That pump and backpack made it possible for us to leave the house and be gone during times when Raya needed feeds. I remember the first time I left the house with her for an evening. She was probably about 2.5 or 3 months old, and I desperately needed to get out. I put formula in the pump, loaded the pump into the backpack, and away we went. It felt so good to be out and about and doing something normal again after a few weeks of medical craziness. That first pump served us well, until Raya started moving around more. As nice as it was to have a pump that went in a backpack, not clamped to an IV pole, it was still fairly cumbersome. Thanks to an audiologist that did a hearing test on Raya, we learned about the infinity pump and were able to switch. If you have a small child who is mobile or a school-aged child on continuous feeds, you want the infinity. Raya started wearing the Moog EnteraLite Infinity pump in the Super Mini backpack for short periods of time when she was only 7 months old. She's 4 now, and I still can't imagine her wearing any other pump all day. But that infinity doesn't slow her down at all.